He encountered tax collectors, prostitutes, and other folks that the dominant culture would classify as unclean. Right. And while religious leaders criticized him for the company he kept, he does not allow what is perceived to be difference to cause him to treat them as deficient. Instead, he affirms their humanity with unconditional love. Noticing the difference in others is a natural part of the human condition. We all do it. But do we do it as a way to point out the shortcomings or our understanding of deficiency in others? If we're guilty of this, we are in fact revealing our own insecurities. Perhaps we are disclosing our own insecurities about the faith. If I've got to put down what you believe and how you believe, I'm really saying something about myself and what I'm really not sure about in my own faith. See, I have no problem with folk who don't believe what I believe. I have friends who are atheists and agnostic, Jewish, Muslim, Buddhist, and some other things I've never heard. It doesn't bother me if they don't believe in redemption, because I know for myself I've been redeemed. Psalm 107 told me, let the redeemed of the Lord say so. It doesn't bother me if folk don't believe in Jesus' death and resurrection, because I know through my own testimony that I've been resurrected. I already answered yes to Job's question, if a man dies, shall he live again? Because I was dead for almost 10 years, and God resurrected me. And if he can resurrect me after 10 years, then 3 days don't seem like very long.
That's right.
You see, church, Paul's letter is reflective of a Christian community bound by Jesus' death and resurrection. In our pluralistic society, our challenges are different, but we are bound by a similar notion. So all of us are not bound by Jesus' death and resurrection. Those of us who follow his teachings, who are committed to inconvenient love, are bound by the love reflected of his death and resurrection, along with the signature of the Holy Spirit not to see difference as deficient. But ultimately, this text challenges us to use the third way, provided by the love of Jesus, to be conscious about rethinking our perspective on weakness, not to see difference as deficient, but also to be mindful that it is our actions of love that honor God.
Yeah. All right.
In the text, Paul deals specifically with two problems: the observance of special days and the abstention of certain foods. But what's really at work is the adherence of certain rituals as proof positive of one's spiritual superiority. We hear the same rhetoric today. What words we use at your baptism? My church uses the whole Bible, as if these practices actually get us closer to God.
Right.
Some behavior justifies judging other folk.
Right.
But God is asking, where is the humility with such discussions? Where is the sacrifice? Where is, as Donnie Hathaway and Roberta Flack said, where is the love?
Right.
Paul reminds us that it doesn't matter what we eat or don't eat, what we observe or don't observe, what we abstain or don't abstain, but does our lived witness through him who loved us demonstrate that we are accountable to God? Yeah. Are we accountable to embrace the courageous commitment to live life with more truth, more beauty, more life, more light, more love, more freedom, more grace, more hope, more kindness, more power, more praise, more peace, more blessings, more honor, more wisdom, more determination, more justice, more faith, more humility, more compassion, more forgiveness? For we are more than conquerors through him who loves us. The rules and rituals have nothing to do with the redemption that we all seek. But as Paul writes in verse 7, none of us live exclusively to ourselves. This is what allows Paul to write in the 7th chapter and the 24th verse, "O wretched man that I am, who will deliver me from this body of death? Who will save me? Who will heal me? Who will strengthen me? Who will deliver me from the hell that I'm catching? Some of it by my own doing." to ourselves and do not die to ourselves. Our lives must be a daily testimony to the one who died and lived again for us. Our lives must be a daily testimony to Romans, the 5th chapter, the 8th verse. While we were yet sinners,
Yes.
Christ died for us. This is the difficult, challenging, and ongoing humility that we are called to each and every day. It is this act of sacrifice and love that is at the root of the third way, which is Jesus' first way. The first way that asks, what shall separate us from the love of God? The first way that reminds us that weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. The first way that believes every mountain shall be exalted, every mountain hill shall be made low, the rough edge made smooth, the crooked places straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together.